In today's brief video, I want to take some time and discuss success in terms of financial success, success in relationships, success in physical health and mental health, and the correlation between success and drug use or drug consumption. This could be smoking weed, vaping nicotine, watching pornography, consuming alcohol, or popping pills. It could apply to any drug use out there, because I think there's a large misunderstanding when it comes to success and its correlation to drug use or lack thereof drug use, especially in today's world of motivational videos and self-development courses and things like that, things that we provide right here on our channel. Now, if you wind up enjoying the content in today's video, be sure to check out the pinned comment or the video description where you can learn more about our private addiction mindset recovery coaching community. It's on school.com, or where you can learn about our supplement, Kick It, Crave Less Chewing Gum, to help those of you guys who are quitting things with that quitting process. It's kind of come to my attention after doing this for several years, after reading through tons of DMs and emails and comments and working with people one-on-one, that a lot of people are under the impression that the absence of a drug, let's say weed for example, is going to equate to some degree of success. And typically they're thinking of monetary success. I'd say the next most popular thing would be success within relationships, and then maybe lastly some degree of success in one's physical health. But usually it's like an ideology behind monetary success, okay? That quitting is somehow going to lead to more money in a person's life. Outside of the money that you're saving from not purchasing the drug, it's not necessarily going to make you successful just by not smoking weed. And this is what I mean when I say the absence of a drug in a person's life does not equate to success, because statistically speaking, there's a lot of people out there who consume copious amounts of various different types of drugs and who still have a high level of financial success. They still have great relationships with their significant others or coworkers or people in their community. They still perform at a peak level of physical performance, okay? So it's not necessarily that drugs are always going to hinder a person, or that drugs are what's solely responsible for someone's lack of perceived success in life. Because there's tons of people who objectively are very, very successful despite substance use, despite addiction. What is it then that makes quitting weed or quitting any drug worthwhile if it doesn't mean that it's going to necessarily equate to improvement in our success in life? It's the process that you go through in quitting drugs, the process of sobriety and recovery, and the challenges that you face, the hardships that you face, learning how to navigate day-to-day life, living with a commitment that you made to yourself to quit the substance. It's the traits that you develop throughout that sobriety process and kind of journey that leads to the development of traits that could make you successful. And I mean successful in multiple areas of one's life. Okay, so when I quit nicotine, THC, energy drinks, adult media content, things that I struggled with that our channel helps people quit, I learned a lot about the development of discipline. I learned a lot about delayed gratification. I learned how to exercise delayed gratification. I learned a lot about how to really focus in on something. I learned a lot about staying committed to something despite having several setbacks and several failures along the way. So when you look at the amount of discipline, delayed gratification, commitment, focus, grit, determination, all the things that someone who's getting sober from an addiction has to exercise to successfully become sober and remain sober, especially in the beginning when it's challenging, it becomes very easy once you get used to doing it, but in the beginning it's hard. They then can take those traits and apply those traits to business, to their relationship, to their physical health. If I became disciplined in not doing drugs, I can be disciplined in my exercise. If I became accepting of delayed gratification and not doing substances, I can be accepting of delayed gratification as it takes time to grow my business, as it takes time to grow my career, and I don't see that immediate output, right? If I've learned how to focus and remain committed to something, I can apply that same focus to my business. I can apply that same commitment to my relationship with my significant other. For many people, the journey of quitting substances is going to be one of the harder things that they do. If you're down in the dirt with addiction and you've really been through it, chances are this is going to be hard, okay? That's just the reality. But it's by going through that challenging experience, facing the challenges, and navigating through them, simply not doing the drug, that you're going to develop those traits which can then be applied to something else later on in life. And I think this is where people get confused. We see people who have become successful after they quit drinking, after they quit, smoking weed, after they quit pills. And these people had this like glow up, right? It's like their whole life changed. And what I'm arguing is it's not the absence of the drug that changed their life. It's the qualities and traits that they developed and honed in on that kept them sober, that they were then able to apply to other aspects of their life that has now made them so successful. And this has certainly been the case with myself and my own companies and my supplement lines and my own businesses, okay? And my own relationships, right? It's those traits that I developed that have made me successful. It's not necessarily the absence of the drug. Because lots of people, especially successful people, do drugs. Sometimes even more so you see successful people doing drugs because when they have that financial freedom, when they're working in their own career, their own business, when they have help around the house, they got multiple nannies, they have assistants at home, they're able to craft time in a way that allows them to consume drugs or substances at a higher frequency, at a higher rate. So in many cases, what you'll actually see is a really high rate of substance use among super successful people because they've been able to craft their time and their lifestyle in a manner that accommodates for their drug use. I see this all the time in my coaching programs and our group coaching, right? So I just want people to understand that. Because if you're going into quitting weed or quitting porn and thinking like you're going to have this life transformation because you put the drug down, yeah, you might get better at stuff. You might get more energy. You might get better sleep. You might have less anxiety, which does allow you to operate better day to day in your business, in your career, in your relationship. But just by putting down the drug isn't what makes you successful. It's by staying committed to your decision to not do the drug, despite challenging circumstances that are 100% going to arise, especially in early sobriety. That's what makes the difference. And that's where I think we see so many business owners, so many successful CEOs, so many successful entrepreneurs who struggled with drug use, who quit, who then had this major glow up, if you will, in their business, in their career, in their relationship. It's not because they didn't do the drug, it's because of what they learned in that struggle of sobriety. It's not a lifelong struggle. Trust me, I don't struggle at all with it anymore. It's very easy for me. There's nothing I get out of sobriety and recovery anymore. I'm done with that. Aside from having a business surrounding it, I'm done with that. I have to go do other things that are hard, like start new businesses, like supplement companies designed at helping people to quit substances, especially if you got cravings or withdrawal symptoms. Check that out below. Right? I have to do other things that challenge me now. But in the beginning, that sobriety process was that kickstart to the challenge, okay? And you might watch this and you might say, well, wait a second. Then why do successful, you could take Jeff Bezos, he's been divorced and stuff, and probably a bunch of different women in the picture. Elon Musk, it kind of came out that he's prescribed ketamine, which is fine. No, I have nothing against any of this, okay? It's just like, well, here's some people that are ultra successful being hyper promiscuous or using substances, prescribed or illicit. Well, what about them? How did that happen then? It's not like they quit. Chances are they went through some other hardship or some other experience in their life, or they're just wired that way, where they're already an extraordinarily disciplined person, where they already went through that challenging event of starting that business in which they built grit, discipline, delayed gratification, determination, whatever, tenacity, whatever you want to call it. They went through experiences that already gave them those traits, and they're able to apply those traits despite substance use, despite promiscuity, or whatever it is they're into, okay? So that's how it works for those people. But they can still run into a lot of trouble eventually later on if it's abused and not managed correctly, right? I hope this video makes sense. I hope it helps you out. I hope it gives you a different perspective on quitting, because this actually makes quitting a very exciting event. It's like running a marathon or climbing a big mountain. This is your challenge. This is your task. How do you become more disciplined? Pick something that requires discipline and keep doing it over and over again. How do you learn delayed gratification? Pick something that requires delayed gratification. This could be quitting drugs. It could be saving money, and do it over and over again. How do I become more committed? Make a commitment and focus on seeing that commitment through. You literally develop those traits by practicing them. And the discipline, the practice of sobriety, is a great opportunity to develop those traits and hopefully carry them on to other aspects of your life. I hope this video helped you guys out. Check out the video description or the pinned comment to learn more about our Addiction Mindset Recovery School community. It's a group coaching community where we do live calls. I work with people inside the community one-on-one. And then we also have our Kick It Crave Less chewing gum. It's the only chewing gum in the world to exist like this. You cannot find it anywhere else. We're the first people in the world to make something like this. So check that out too. I'll see you guys later.